Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
Do or do not. There is no try.
So this is it. We'll call it my swan song for Disney Star Wars videos. Some of you may not know this, but I actually started this channel after the frustration that I experienced at the hands of Disney Star Wars. And I, like many other channels on YouTube, used to talk about my frustration all the time. But it got to a point where the subject just became dull to me, and I just didn't care anymore.
I don't care!
Which is actually more sad than anything because I am a lifelong Star Wars fan. I will always have love and admiration for the original trilogy, and there's nothing that anyone can do or say to change that. But as far as me dedicating my time and energy to this franchise moving forward, it's just not where my heart is anymore. In my eyes, the franchise is dead, the only decent Star Wars was under George Lucas's control, and anything made after his exit means nothing to me. So when George Lucas's ex-wife and editor of the original Star Wars comes out and says that Disney Star Wars just isn't good, I no longer feel satisfaction for things like this, because I don't need validation for my opinion. What I believe to be true is what I will always believe to be true, and there's nothing that anyone can say to validate that or dispute it.
That makes sense.
Basically what I'm saying is that my opinion on anything Disney creates is set in stone. I know what I'm getting from them, and I know I don't like it, so therefore I don't need to talk about it anymore. So when George Lucas's ex-wife says that Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams don't understand Star Wars, I already knew that. When she says that they killed Han Solo with no rhyme or reason, I already knew that. When she says that it makes no sense that Rey is as powerful as she is, I already knew that. The reality is, and you can quote us both on this, is that the story just wasn't good. And that's why a lot of Star Wars fans don't care about these movies anymore. Most of us know what great Star Wars is because we've already had it. We've already lived through it. The level of dedication and effort that was put into this franchise prior to Disney's acquisition of it is the reason that we love the franchise in the first place. And you have no idea how irritating it is to hear people say, no one hates Star Wars like a Star Wars fan.
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Bullshit. People don't want to hate something they love. People complain because they do give a shit about what's going on. We complained because we want better. We know that there's people out there who are capable of giving us better. And when people like myself expressed our grievances towards this franchise and how it was being handled, we were attacked for it, both by people on social media and members of Lucasfilm. So through all of that, I'm supposed to just swallow all my feelings and support you anyway? No, it doesn't work like that. The definition of a diehard fan has been muddled by this agenda-driven bullshit. So a major studio willingly creates a trilogy of movies and admits that they had no plan in doing so, and yet somehow I'm the bad guy because I pointed that out before they admitted it.
Fuck me, right?
Everyone knows exactly what happened here, and we've known for a very long time, and nothing that George Lucas's ex-wife says really matters in the situation. If you take the fan goggles off for just 1 second and look at these movies from a critical standpoint, I don't see how anyone could possibly say that these movies are without flaws. And that brings me to this week where I made a commitment to my buddy Rocco. I made a commitment to him and his loyal viewers to watch The Last Jedi for the last time. Now, I hadn't thought about this movie in a while. Like I said, the subject has basically been dead to me. But you know what? When I was watching it, all those nauseating feelings definitely came back to me. I was quickly reminded of how I felt walking out of the theater back in 2017. Dejected, angry, confused, disappointed. And not because the movie has a female lead like most of the shills will have you believe. It's because the story is fucking atrocious.
That's right, it stinks!
The film was shot from the first draft of a script that honestly has so many inconsistencies in it, I don't even understand how the studio greenlit the project to begin with. Lucasfilm showed their incompetence by not giving a single fuck about telling a cohesive story. In this movie, everything that was set up in The Force Awakens that had any intrigue was completely ignored. Every single character and situation in this movie is treated like a joke. Finn goes from fighting Kylo Ren to a cartoon character who is constantly belittled by slapstick comedy. Poe is completely useless and only exists to make Holdo look better. Kylo comes off as a child in Toys R Us who didn't get the toy that he wanted. real intimidating. Rey continues to be great at everything with absolutely no explanation for it. And probably the most egregious thing of all, we finally get to see our childhood hero Luke Skywalker on screen for the first time since 1980. And what do we get? A bitter old hermit who abandoned his family and friends and dies alone and like a coward, surrounded by porgs. Not to mention all the lore-breaking inconsistencies in this movie because they clearly have no idea how the Force actually works. As a Star Wars fan, what exactly am I supposed to be happy about here? They disrespect legacy characters at every turn. They force-feed us new characters who are poorly written and treated like a joke. They basically kill Star Wars and shit on its grave, and somehow I'm supposed to be okay with that. You're being too critical, just enjoy them for what they are. I believe, and yes, this is just my opinion, obviously, that The Last Jedi is a complete abomination of cinema and shouldn't be viewed by anyone. Consider this an impromptu and final Last Jedi review. It's got inconsistent storytelling, it's got piss-poor characters, both old and new, it lacks any of the heart and creativity that made the original Star Wars worth anything. That's why I'm giving The Last Jedi, and pretty much anything Disney Star Wars related, the Disgusted Ian Malcolm.
That is one big pile of shit.
So that's it. I refuse to give this dead and buried franchise any more of my attention until they give me a reason to give it my attention. Consider this my definitive video on the subject, and now I'm ready to get back to things that I actually still give a shit about.
Oh, I got a live one here.
So let me know what you thought about all this in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Nah.